Namaste everyone. I'm going to give you Kundalini Yoga to help you move the energy through the chakra system. A lot of us can spend lifetimes working on one chakra, and one of the chakras that can be most troublesome for us is the root chakra for many. Mastering the animal, right? The animal self. And also working on psychic development. So each chakra, right? Each chakra provides us energy, right? And energy is what we need on planet Earth to manifest. You need a lot of energy, right? So each chakra provides energy, additional energy. And when we have wilted chakras, atrophied chakras, right? We don't have as much energy as we could have. So when you look at great yogis or gurus, you see they have a lot of energy, not just physical energy of stamina, also psychic energy, emotional energy, sexual energy, right? And that's why they have the radiance, they have a glow, right? And as human beings, that's natural for us to be in. It's very unnatural for us to be in lifetimes of having a wilted chakra, right? Or have atrophied chakra system, right? It's actually very unnatural, and it's actually also very uncomfortable to be in that state for lifetimes, right? But how we get this sort of, wilted chakras kind of thing can be due to trauma. A lot of us have primal trauma, right? Due to our past history on this planet, where we've dealt with a lot of shame, a lot of judgment, a lot of aggression, competition on this planet, and that has created a sort of trauma in the first chakra, right? The first chakra, the root chakra, which really has to do with feeling secure, right? Having self-esteem. And, vast majority of people on this planet have very low self-esteem, right? The human condition, a lot of people have difficulty moving through that. And the human condition has to do everything with the root, the root chakra, right? The baseline, right? And when our baseline frequency, the frameworks to our whole sort of chakra system is low self-esteem, building blocks upon that is not going to create a very stable person, right? So a lot of us struggle when it comes to the human condition, which is we all have the same common human condition. Either you're in China, either you're in Russia, South America, right? There's just different variations of it. Some are a lot more intense. Some are, some geographic regions have done already a lot of heavy lifting, and some, have yet to do the heavy lifting. But the human condition is shame, judgment, and feelings of not being good enough, right? So some countries you'll see they have, they've done some heavy lifting. They got the shovel, they dug some of that out. While other countries, they're very, heavy in it, right? So in order for us to really balance out the other chakras, right, we do have to work with the baseline chakra, right? And the baseline chakra, the root chakra, is associated also with your subconscious, right? Your subconscious, because the first chakra is seen, the reproductive organ. It's also seen as the basement, right? And usually the basement is where we have, our ancestors through photographs that are just kind of hanging in boxes. We have our great grandma's couch that's been there for, whoever knows how long, right? So the basement really represents our roots, right? The subconscious and the epigenetic run hand-me-down, right? I like to say the epigenetic hand-me-down, right? From your lineage, right? Grandmother down the line, going back, right? And all of that is stored in like a basement. Like there's a treasure chest in a basement, and it's full of all the photos of all of your family, right? Going way back, right? Way back, or many generations back. And that's kind of what your subconscious is, the basement. But it also, we know, a basement very much represents the frameworks to the house, right? And you see your chakra system like a house, right? There's a framework, right? You have windows, you have doors, you have rooms, right? And you want light, you want it to be circulated, you want it to have be feng shui. You don't want to have a one that's dark and rusty and musty and moldy, and then the other is just luminous, right? You want to have a nice balance in the house, right? We call feng shui the house, right? So that there's a nice, the whole house gives this sort of radiance, this glow, like when you go to a temple, right? You just feel this great balance in yourself, right? It just calms you down. And all of also working on the psychic development is also can be a challenge, right? I mean, we work on we spend lifetimes working on the chakra system so that we can kind of get a sort of chakra development, right? So that we can really start to use our energy to manifest. And that doesn't just happen in mastery of one chakra, right? It does take sort of a lot of energy, right? A lot of energy to, raise the kundalini, raise your consciousness, raise your vibration, right? And sustain it, not just, flip a switch and then you fall back down type of thing. So with the root chakra, we work with the self-esteem, which, that has to do with the ego, right? The self-esteem has to do with our ego. It has to do with feeling comfortable in your own skin, right? And a lot of us don't feel comfortable in our own skin, so then we, try to do these sort of distortions and try to, be something else besides, being accepting of our ancestors and our lineage, right? We're not too accepting of where we've been and that kind of thing. So first chakra is really working on the self-esteem. That's energy. The second chakra is the navel point. That has to do with your life force, right? That has to do with your life force, your ability to be determined, to have stamina, right? Your ability to be resilient, to be tolerant, to be patient, right? That's life force, right? The life force. And then we talk about the second chakra, the solar plexus here, is very much your vitality, right? Your good nature, your good health, which gives you energy. It's the vitality of your inner organs, right? The endocrine system, right? It's the functionality of the physical body is good, right? You're in a good nature, good health, right? Which is energy. If your organs, your endocrine system is not nourished, your the functionality of the physical body is going to be not up to par, right? And then the fourth chakra, the heart, right? The heart chakra, that gives you energy of be able to self-correct, self-soothe, right? And a lot of us can kind of sort of struggle with that, right? To self-soothe and self-correct. And one of the great life lessons of all of us as human beings is emotional maturity, right? When we look at like ancient civilizations such as Lemuria, ancient Egypt, the reason they were able to sustain a sort of society that was of a higher vibration in all areas of life is because they had emotional maturity. They knew how to articulate, they knew how to express themselves, they knew how to self-soothe and self-correct, right? And that's something that the heart gives us energy. When you know how to self-soothe and self-correct when you get those high emotions or low emotions, that you know how to self-regulate. Because emotions, you can really get drained if you go way out into, emotions can also, you can destroy yourself based off of emotions. You can, emotions can cause sickness, disease in the physical body, right? So being able to know how to self-soothe and self-correct is knowing how to self-regulate the body, right? So you can even self-regulate the hormones through the emotions, right? Through the heart, right? And we work with the heart usually through chanting, right? Chanting in morning sadhana is a way for us to really self-soothe and self-correct the heart, right? So that, when the heart is feeling, the emotions are at a particular, a higher frequency, right? The overall ability of the body, being connected to the mind body is a lot more purposeful, and we feel a lot more grounded, and just overall we feel a lot more content, right, with our decisions and trust ourselves, basically. And then the fifth chakra, the throat, we talk about the throat chakra, has to, the throat chakra is an ability, the energy we get from that is an ability to, express yourself, which is, again, a lot of us are kind of choked up, and because again, when we have the human condition, the shame, judgment, a lot of us have we're very oppressed, and the throat chakra, right? We get very choked up, and you sort of dyslexic when it comes to expressing. And that's not just verbally a communication, that's also through expressing the body, moving the body. Sexuality, it's about your intention and claiming your divine right to be happy, that kind of thing. It's about your command language, your throat, right? It really, the way you express yourself really shows what kind of character you have, right? And we know planet Earth is all about character development, right? This whole Earth is about a warrior practice, right? So warrior practice is about, right, it's very much about your character and the character development of you, right? And then we get into the sixth chakra, we talk about the third eye, the space between the eyebrows. That is very much working, the energy we get from that is intuition, the ability to be a futurist, right? The ability to be multi-dimensional, multi-talented. That's a lot of energy, to be multi-talented, multi-dimensional, and to be creative, right? To have a vision. There's a lot of energy in having a vision, right? There's a vision, and then there's the life force, right? You need a sort of leadership. And the third eye gives you a sense of leadership. Where are you going? Why are you going there? Right? What's your purpose? What are you doing? Right? What are you achieving? How is this going to help you? Right? How's it going to help others? These kinds of things. Holding a vision of your great incarnational study, I like to say. And then the seventh chakra, we talk about the great crown, right? You have a little gold crown on the top of your head. That gives you energy of being connected to energy bigger than yourself, being connected to God, right? That's a big energy right there, right? Connected to God. You can also see it as the crown chakra is also being connected to the Sachak record, right? Which is about a golden arc, right? You can see it as God, but you can also see it as a golden arc of teachers, wise ones, elders, masters, right? So it gives you this sense of being tapped into mastery, right? Individuals who've had mastery in learning from them, studying them, right? It's about the virtues, the values, right, of those masters, in cultivating that, right? Cultivating that in your thoughts, in your patterns. So when we balance out all those chakras, right, that's a lot of energy, right? That's a lot of energy. But what happens, again, a lot of us, because of our history in the human condition, right, the common thing I see is, again, heart chakra. We don't know how to self-soothe. We don't know how to self-correct, right? Then, our emotions, right, we can get very, very in a situation with our emotions, right? When it comes to the self-esteem, low self-esteem, when it comes to, survival, sex, food, sex, money, food, water, right? When it comes to that primal, basic sort of understanding with Earth, a lot of us have difficulties with that, right? Because we have, low self-esteem, right? We don't think highly of ourselves, right? We're not too accepting of where we've come from, either if we've come from poverty or whatever, right? So we have this, sort of difficulty having a sort of a character, right? And then for some of us with third eye, right, when it comes to vision, we our vision's a little bit hazy, or we don't trust ourselves because we're not listening to our heart, right? We don't trust ourselves, type of thing. So again, we can play out this for many lifetimes. In many, many lifetimes, we can play the different traumas or, obscurities in the chakras and call that a life, right? But I'm gonna give you a sort of set that can help you to move the energy, right? To move the energy, right, of lifetimes that we spend in just a yogic set, right? So you could do this many times, and you can even focus it on different areas of the chakras. Because the goal of, you talk about the mastery or the ascension, is really about, it's really about finding the energy, right? The pure energy in each of the chakras, right? Which is also having the grace of the whole glands, the grace, the vitality, the good nature, right? And a part of the process is clearing out these wounds. Again, we're a warrior planet, so we have wounds that we carry in these chakra systems: sexual wounds, oppressive sort of, past lives, being exiled, right? It could be aggression, whatever it is. A lot of us have to clear that out before we can really start to rebalance. Right, we can't balance out as long as we have that sort of trauma, right? So that's kind of just lingering on in us. So just rub your hands together. We're going to tune in. So rub the hands together at the heart, create some heat in the palms, press the hands into the heart, roll the shoulders back and down. Imagine your spine very tall. Feel the spine very tall. Imagine that there's a string at the top of the head pulling you up. Create space in the back of the neck. Tuck in the chin. Inhale. Exhale. We're going to chant Om, OMG, Namo, Gurudev Namo 3 times to call in the teachers, the wise ones, and the masters who are here to help us receive mastery in the many chakra systems and the many portals of higher energy that can come through us. Inhale to begin. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Inhale. Exhale. Now we're going to imagine 4 pillars of light around us. We're in the center. Imagine to the right is Archangel Michael. Behind you is Archangel Gabriel. To your left is Archangel Raphael. And ahead of you is Archangel Zachiel. And imagine that you are seated in a royal gas stove blue bush, a burning bush of God. And imagine spinning clockwise around you is royal gas stove blue, a flame that spins very fast. And with each sound, I want you to spin that gas stove blue energy around you clockwise, very fast, very fast, very fast. And see the white pillars of light. The white pillars of light on to the sides of you, ahead of you, behind you. And imagine below the perineum you have roots that go deep, deep into the earth, 70, 80 feet deep into the earth, and extend all out underneath the perineum. And imagine going up the spine from the perineum, up the spine, seeing the spine like a great trunk, like a grandfather, grandmother trunk with thousands of inner rings of belonging to thousands of lives of integrity. And then imagine going up from the top of the head, out. Imagine branches that extend 70 to 80 feet up in all directions above your head. And just feel your heart like the great center, the great mediator. And see above you a white sun, a big, luminous white sun. That is the Assachic record, the Merkaba. And again, see that white sun with rays, white rays that cascade upon you. And imagine a beam of white light from this white sun beams right into the soft spot of the head, down the Sushumna channel, down the chakra system, down the spine, down through each gland, down, all the way into the perineum, all the way out the perineum into the ground, deep into the ground like you are a rod, you're in a spit. And then feel the energy moving up, way up, and then back down, up and down, the light. And see that cleaning you out, and helping to adjust the axis of your posture, the axis of the spine, so that you're in a proper axis that will give you more rotation, more equilibrium, and more of a homeostasis state of mind, body, and energy, so that you can give life to many species of animals, many species of plant, so that you can give life to a planet that is your aura, that is full of so much prolific, lucrative, and abundant energies that are your planet, that is your spaceship, that is your aura, your household mandala, that is you, and your spherical, multi-dimensional energy. So inhale to begin. Adgadename, Jugadgadename, Sadgadename, Siddhigadev Ename. Adgadename, Jugadgadename, Sadgadename, Siddhigadev Ename. Adgadename, Jugadgadename, Sadgadename, Siddhigadev Ename. Inhale. Exhale.